Big news out of AT&T. Let's discuss this as it's going to probably be a difference maker for some really, really important connections. And let's focus on what's pictured on the screen, and that's AT&T FirstNet. All right, so the FirstNet contract, first responder network that's built and managed by AT&T. It's got a separate core. It's got separate investment. I mean, it really kind of is its own network. It does obviously piggyback and get integrations with AT&T's assets as they provide network as a service for the authority, but there's specific resources and there's specific investment in technologies that actually go into FirstNet. And it looks like space connectivity is the next thing that's going to be added to FirstNet, as looks like the FCC has approved the testing of direct-to-satellite cellular on FirstNet. All right, so I think this was just a matter of time till this happened. Obviously, mission-critical situations. You've got natural disasters and emergency responses that are required to have first responders on the scene, and they need connectivity. So with AST SpaceMobile getting permission to experiment and test band 14 spectrum utilized by direct-to-cellular connectivity, I mean, I think this was just the evolution of FirstNet. It was just eventually going to get here. Now, the fact that they got the okay and that there's going to be testing, that's just kind of like, phase one. Obviously, they're going to have to report back. They're going to have to produce those reports, declare them, and submit them to the FCC and produce findings and all those things. But, this is probably going to happen over the course of the next calendar year. I think it's safe to assume that at some point in 2026, we get the next evolution of this service. So with their, LEO Bluebird satellites, unmodified devices can connect to ASTS through the spectrum that both Verizon and AT&T operate. I think the next thing is going to be this application for frontline and, first responders on the Verizon network. And, at that point, then you start talking about commercial and consumer and all these things. I think this is a pretty exciting thing. Obviously, ASTS, in my opinion, is going to offer something more substantial than I think T-Mobile and Starlink have. We see the problems that they have just being able to text, not even having stable calling or true data usage. I think that's the end game for this type of situation with FirstNet. I don't think this is about texting. I think this is going to be more of a situation of stabilization in the calling performance and stability in the data network experience. Because if you think about it, band 14 is a low band with a very strong signal potential, right? And look, there's still the risk of interference. I get it. That stuff isn't going to be able to be avoided. But I mean, there's a lot of potential here to really help bolster FirstNet, with this type of service. Because there's going to be situations, guys, where you just simply cannot get a cell signal by terrestrial cell sites. And AT&T is probably not going to invest in building some sites where there isn't utilization. That's where these kind of solutions come into play. All right, so put this in your memory bank. Let's put this on the shelf for now. Wait for the follow-up on this. Again, this is clearance for testing. Now you got to do the testing, produce the reports, and then get the FCC approval to just go ahead and do this commercially. Very, very exciting. AST SpaceMobile and AT&T along with FirstNet taking their next big step forward. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know. Like, share, subscribe, drop me some comments. Check out some more of our videos. We'll see you guys on the next one.